we are Gathering in the Geeks, a podcast and a YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one about anxious hitmen. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso to my coach beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how you doing?
Astonished that worked just now.
Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes things happening here at Gathering in the Geeks, and we're happy that the show has started.
That almost got really weird really quickly.
Because there was there like 2 seconds where nothing was happening, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, like I don't know, because I saw the prompt, I was like, okay, and then it stopped, and I remember, oh wait a minute, I back in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it, so it's supposed to start when we go live, but now I think it actually got the full intro. If you guys saw it, let us know. Was it the full intro? Like, did you see a black screen and then a countdown, or what did it look like? Because we don't know.
It's all a mystery to us.
We're just trying stuff. Sometimes it's
right. That's right. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All you have to do is search for Gathering of the Geeks, and you will find us right there. What's up, Cookie, Phil, Ian, and Eric? How is everyone doing on this fine Sunday evening or Monday if you're Ian? She saw the last bit of the intro. Interesting. All right. Chris, you mentioned, you mentioned to me before we started that you're getting behind, or you want to watch some more horror movies, but you've been watching a ton of horror movies. It is at the time of this recording, October the 6th, and this week up here, it's actually really started to feel like fall. Really started to feel like Halloween. Are you very much in your spooky season mode now? Are you feeling it?
I'm basically in spooky season mode every month of the year except December.
Yeah.
Well, November and December we're full on Christmas. After that, we're back to spooky. But technically, kind of. I mean, I'm enjoying the movies and stuff. But like today, it was 95 degrees.
Yeah.
Actually, with humidity, I think it was 98. So. And I was outdoors all day. I think I might be cooked at the moment. I'm not sure.
I cooked myself.
I think there is an element of that, yeah. It's kind of like, I think it's a line from Batman Forever when the Riddler sticks the thing on his head. Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
Yeah.
It's kind of my mindset at the moment.
Yeah. Chris is in the parking lot cooking up his breakfast.
That's how I felt. Second breakfast, though, not first breakfast.
Yeah, of course.
Spooky season is the best season. Absolutely it is.
The best thing about spooky season to me is that it leads right into Christmas season. So you go right from watching horror movies to watching like holiday movies, and I just love that seamless transition.
If you do it right, you can watch horror Christmas movies to kind of bridge the gap.
That's right.
Or like A Violent Night. Is that what David Harbour movie?
Yeah.
Is that what's
Yeah.
You can watch that. You can watch Black Christmas, which I've never seen. Terrifier 3 has Christmas stuff.
If you do it right, of course.
If you do. If you don't, I mean, just watch Jingle All the Way. You're happy either way.
Yeah, speaking of horror movies.
Good sir.
All right, Chris. So what'd you get up to this past week?
Well, I didn't read a damn thing, so we'll just gloss right over that. I did buy a book though. I bought DC All In, and it's funny because
you didn't even read it. You son of a.
No, I've said this before. I will make it my mission to go buy a certain book and then never read it. This was one of those times. But I did get the Batman membership card that I wanted. So there's that. But ask me where the card is. I can't tell you. I don't know where.
Oh, man. I was hoping you'd have it. Jeez.
No. You think too much of me. You hope for too much.
Yeah.
So I didn't read anything. What about you? Did you read anything?
Yeah, so just the all-in special, which is what I was going to mention. And the interesting thing for me is the idea of the Justice League being back together again. They're forming the team. I can't recall when the last official end of the Justice League was, but this all-in special where they're bringing almost every DC superhero together to the new Watchtower, and they have all the cards and everything. And by the end of it, they have a mission, and it just feels right, you know. I'm not sure why. Well, I guess I know why it is, just because Justice League, and it's like the greatest team with the greatest superheroes, and it's been so long since we've had the Justice League story, or even a book in the main DC timeline storyline. So just nice to have them back, and it's a very good issue. It's a really interesting issue. You read it one way, and then you flip the book over, and you read it another way, and it's got two stories in it, Alpha and Omega.
Oh, that's why the cover is like that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
On the back, it's the cover of the new Absolutes. And I was like, why does I got that?
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting. I read it digitally, which was a little hard. Like if you're reading on your iPad and you flip your iPad, it just turns around again. So I kind of read it sideways, which was difficult. But it's very cool. It's cool to see Darkseid back, doing all his lovely Darkseid things and more. Yeah, and actually, the Alpha story had a lot to do with Booster Gold, which is something I wasn't expecting, which was very interesting. So yeah, DC All In is what I was reading, and we're getting ready for Batman Absolute #1 comes out this week. Hope everyone can get a copy because I'd never heard this before, but it sold out 2 weeks before it was released. I'd never heard of that happening. I don't know how that's possible. Like just so many pre-orders for it, I suppose, but that's a pretty wicked thing to see for DC and Batman.
Yeah, but I think that just means like the specialty covers are sold out, doesn't it? Not just the standard book.
I know that they've got a second printing already coming, so of just the regular one. So I assume that the pre-orders just outweighed how many copies they made. So I don't know what it's going to be like for people actually getting a book in stores on that first day.
I would like a physical copy, but I think if I buy it, I'm doomed to never read it, so I may not buy one.
Yes.
But we'll see how it goes. Because there's so many nice covers.
I don't know. I should look to see how many there is, but it feels like there's like 20 of them.
Yeah. There's some that aren't even, like the Dan Mora cover is not even a real cover. He just drew it for kicks. But if it ever gets released, I have to.
Yeah, there's like they're just the regular ones, and then there's a reprint. There's a second printing. There's 4 second printing covers alone.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't think I've ever seen a book with this many covers. Yeah, this and the new Ninja Turtle book have the most covers I've ever seen.
Yeah. Then that Ninja Turtle one, that's one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, every Ninja Turtle. Well, there's only been 2 of them, but each one of them have had like 8 covers. They're all wildly different. None of them have anything to do with what's in the book.
Yeah, that's what's fun about them sometimes.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's fun. DC, the All In thing had quite a few covers too. I could have bought this really neat, like a blue cover with the DC bullet on it. I was like, I don't want to give $8 on this because I'm never going to read it. It's going to go in the pile, and as things go. But I'll read the one I have, and then Batman this week. Maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I won't. I mean, physical.
Yeah, if you can find it.
I'm sure I could. I'll find the cover nobody wants.
Yeah,
there's got to be one, like a Frank Miller.
There's got to be one.
Yeah, there's got to be like a Frank Miller cover nobody wants.
There is a Frank Miller cover.
Is there?
Yeah, he's doing that thing that like he's been doing lately, where everyone is like coming at the Wolverine ones. He's like going like this. It's not good, of course. I don't like it, but yeah. I don't know what the deal is with that Frank Miller one. I should see why it's so special. It's
Frank Miller.
Oh, it's a New York Comic Con one.
Okay, then I definitely don't need to get that one.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so DC All In was all I read. It's really good. Really nice seeing the Justice League back together again. It just gets me excited for what's going to be happening in all of the universes and all of the stories going forward.
All the worlds.
All of the worlds.
Got some fun comments. This is about the horror movies, the transition. A Nightmare on 34th Street. I would watch that, like a Christmas Freddy. I think that'd be fun, especially because he's like a joke anyway. Like you could open the movie with Freddy, like Santa Freddy or some shit.
That would be fun.
Cookie says Black Christmas on Thanksgiving is wonderful. Maybe this is the year I watch Black Christmas. Should I watch the new one or the old one though? Because I saw there's 2.
Is there a reason why you haven't before?
just haven't done it. It's like one of those things, the list of movies I've never gotten to. It's just on that list.
Yeah, the old one, 1974, the original. Crazy.
I hear good things. Ian says, Speak No Evil is a great psychological horror. Watched it yesterday and it stuck with me. I found it much scarier than most conventional horrors. This is on my list to watch this week. I kept forgetting that it's out on digital, but also I've seen the trailer so many times, I want to break from it. So it's kind of like a dual thing there, but I do plan to get to it this week. I love James McAvoy, and he looks insane in this movie, so I'm in.
The trailer is one of the most thrilling, nervous trailers that I've seen.
Right?
Like it's just it made me really interested in it. This is a remake, right?
Yes,
Of a European
yes.
movie. So yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to handle watching the movie just based off the trailer alone. But I love Mackenzie Davis is in it. I really like her, and I love James McAvoy as well.
Yeah, McAvoy always wins. I love McAvoy, unless it's like Split, because I don't want to watch that again.
Really?
I like it until the ending. The ending bugs me to no end.
Like the action stuff, or the end.
I just don't get it. Like,
oh.
I understand he's got a split personality thing. How does he become a creature at the end? Like, I just don't understand. I can't wrap my head around the concept. He's climbing walls. Patricia is no longer there. He's just the Beast.
Just the Beast. Yep.
It took me a long time to realize that's Anya Taylor-Joy. I never knew that.
That's right.
Yeah, because I remember I saw her in something years and I was like, oh, I've never seen this girl before. And I was like, wait, no, I have. I just don't remember. I buried that movie in my memory. Eric says a Batman membership never expires. It's good until forever, unless you're George Clooney.
Oh.
Zing. Ian says, I caught up on a few reads that you guys mentioned. Daniel Warren Johnson's The Moon is Following Us being my favorite. I haven't read it because I just don't want to be sad when I'm reading. And he does it. He just makes you sad.
He does it.
I'm pretty sure he could write like Masters of the Universe and make it depressing. Like Skeletor has a Skelebaby, and that's why he's so evil.
Yeah, he could do it for sure. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't want it. Don't want it.
Nope. Yeah. That's a cakewalk for him.
He has the power.
That's right.
Freddy at Christmas would be a sick concept. Yeah, put more slashers at Christmas. I think that's fun. Ruin the joy. I like it.
I think that's not a bad idea. We like the idea of like horror Christmas movies, but putting Freddy at Christmas, that would be interesting.
I think it'd be fun.
Like you could, I think
certain characters I think could lend themselves to different holidays. Michael Myers, of course, should stay around Halloween, but like a Leatherface Christmas, that sounds fun. You can call it that, a Leatherface Christmas.
That sounds like a daytime special. It's a Leatherface Christmas.
Make the opening animated. That seems to be a good trend. He said they should make the Deviant movie for Christmas. That'd actually be a good idea. That'd be fun.
Yeah, he's a creepy looking Santa fella.
There's no shortage of creepy Santa, so I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Just make it all at Christmas. It's good times. Halloween is there's not enough. There's too many movies for Halloween. We have to moved to another holiday to contain all the horror. The horror. We don't like horror. We like horror.
The horror.
Yep, the horror is what we're after. Very Dr. Loomis Christmas. I like that. Everybody gets a present, but Michael. That's why he's so upset. You know those like little golden books?
Yeah.
Yeah, make one of those called The Very Loomis Christmas, and that's the story. I mean, they make one of those for everything, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they make a little golden book. Like I saw one with Dracula the other day. That was the cutest thing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it was cute. They have a Friends one I saw recently. A bunch of different stuff. I like those things. Don't need them, but I like them.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so no reads this week, Chris. So what did you watch?
I watched quite a few things.
Good.
I did see Joker 2. the discourse around this movie has made me not want to even speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the Flash discourse on steroids, but like that point of steroids where the person already is nuts and they have roid rage. That's kind of what the discourse is. It's very ugly. I don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a lot. And so I
Are
don't even
you
want to
seeing
talk.
people that like this movie?
I'm seeing people that love this movie so much that if you
Hmm.
don't love it, you're a moron.
Oh wow.
And I cannot deal with that. I'm also seeing people that hate it so much that if you do like it, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people who are making it their entire personality to crusade for it or put
Mm-hmm.
it down. And at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, guys, it is just a movie with fictional characters. Fictional characters. And so it's just disheartening, and like I don't even want to talk about it openly.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fine. It's not amazing. It's not terrible to me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't ever want to see it again. There are things I like, things I didn't like, but that's really where I leave it. I don't, you know. Although you'll hear me talking about it on DC Unlimited, so there's that.
So yeah, and you didn't like the first one. Do you like the second one more than
I
the first
hate the
one?
first one, so by
Yeah.
default, yes, I like the second one more.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not as depressing. I like
Mm.
more of what I saw of Arthur in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I like some of the musical numbers. I think they're entertaining. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them. Uh, I liked Gaga until I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a weird thing with like the performance is there, the character is not. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like House of Gucci in a way. If you watch that with her,
Nope.
yeah, you weren't missing anything. I mean, the movie's not very good, but she's good in
I,
it.
I've listened to Vigilante 1939, and every time they do their Italian accents, I feel like I've seen enough of House of Gucci.
What makes it better is half of them are Italian, so two-thirds of
Yeah.
them are. So the exaggerated Italian accent is especially hilarious to me.
Yeah. Just a side topic. I love when instead of when I think more Morbius came out around the same time, and they're talking about Morbio,
Yeah,
and they do. I forget who does it. I think it's Zeddy who does his
it is.
Morbio accent. I just cannot stand when they do that. Oh my god,
It's a
too
good
much.
time though. But yeah, this it's a film. You're gonna love it.
Hmm.
You're gonna hate it. I'm fine with it. I think it's some of it's like I said, some of it's entertaining.
Hmm.
It's just the discourse is really there's. I just don't even want to talk about it like on Twitter or anything. It's no use.
Hmm.
And that's all I have to say about that.
What do you? Yeah, I want to ask you about this because I saw all the initial thoughts for the movie about the hate, and then
Yeah.
this started coming out. The meaning behind the ending and all that kind of stuff. Where do you land? No spoilers, but where do you land on this kind of idea of Todd Phillips and this, that, and the other thing?
I think the ending is just an ending. I don't think there's
Mm,
anything behind it. I think he just wanted to do a thing, tell a story, and he finished his story. I think that's all it is.
mm-hmm,
I do think, though, this is a thought of mine, and I don't know if anyone else shares this. I think that he wanted to play in the comic book realm, but pretend that he didn't for this one. That's a lot of the feeling I got of this because there are things in it that are very comic booky to me.
mm,
Like Joaquin is much more Joker like in some scenes than he was, of course, in the first one. Because all he did was cry and dance in his underwear. No
mm-hmm,
offense to anyone who loves the movie, by the way. But in the sequel, he's much more unstable, I think.
mm,
And when he's in the Joker look, he's kind of a different animal. So I think it was kind of like I want to be in a comic book. I want to make a comic book movie, but I don't want to make a comic book movie. So I'll just
mm-hmm,
pretend I don't.
mm-hmm,
It's a weird thing with it, but the ending is gotten a lot of discussions about it, and it's
mm-hmm.
okay. I like the ending for what it is. It's
So
not what
what
I
do
would
you?
have done, but I like it.
Mhm. So what do you think about that idea? Just the idea of it getting so much conversation.
Oh, that's
Obviously,
what he
like the
wanted.
bad conversation is bad, and
Mhm.
it's a toxic thing online. But what about just the idea of like this movie being talked about incessantly?
Well, the first one was too. So
Hmm.
that part I expected. I expected people to pick it apart, discuss it, do all that. But the toxic part of it is just weird. It's just
Mm.
so weird. And I don't think the ending was meant to kind of invoke that. I think the ending was meant to just be, hey, this is the story.
Mm-hmm.
But people have been, and not to discredit anyone's take, you could take it however you want. But
Sure.
I've just seen some extreme reactions to it. And without spoilers, I don't think there's anything there. You
Mm.
know, I think it's just the ending to a story, and that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not trying to be anything thought provoking. It's not meaningful. It's not meant to change your life. But if it does, kudos to you.
Mm.
Maybe you need a hug. But
One thing that I've seen, or what I've noticed online, is that the visuals look great.
mhm.
The music is okay. The score is good. The acting is very good, but the story just isn't there. So it's got like 3 out of 4. That but that fourth one, the story is just it's just that it's too much. That's taking over the conversation over the craft of the film.
As it should, though. I mean, the story is the
Mm,
most important thing. And if the story's not there, what are you doing?
sure.
The story to me, I thought it was, again, it was fine.
Mm,
I don't think it's very fleshed out. And it sort of feels, it's weird to explain it. It feels like a DLC for a video game.
okay.
That's kind of what it feels like, just an added thing that we probably didn't need.
Mm.
But do we need anything? You know?
Yeah, that's interesting because like that's a lot of the way I feel about Dune 2. Like
Yeah.
I love the way the movie looks. I like most of the acting in it. The score is outstanding visually. It's great, but I just cannot stand where the story goes. And
And
in a
that's,
way, it's hard to get over that the main story is so critical. Like
and I,
you see a lot of bad looking movies, but
yeah.
if the story takes you there, then you're okay with it. It's an interesting idea.
Well, there's a lot of movies out there, in my opinion, that are really only exist to showcase the actor's ability, the main actor's talent, and
Sure.
that doesn't make the movie good. Like one that I always think about is Bronson with Tom Hardy. I think the movie's terrible, but Tom Hardy is amazing in it. You
Yeah.
know, there's movies that are just like that. This is not that. This was trying to get everything in one, and it
Hmm.
has some misses.
Hmm.
Also, I think they spent too much time trying to be stylish, and it just doesn't pan out.
Hmm.
And it makes the movie feel like it's 4 hours long when I think it's 220
Mm-hmm.
or 215, something like that. Ian has an interesting comment here. I watched an interesting video explaining how the movie represents Todd Phillips being forced to make a movie he didn't want to, so he intentionally made it as a middle finger to the audience. I've heard this take. I don't know if that's what it is. This is the same guy who made The Hangover, too. That's kind of my response. I
Sure.
mean, we've seen what he does with sequels. So, with that in mind, this fits right in line with his other stuff.
Hmm.
Like, I love War Dogs. It's one of my favorites. Please don't make a sequel to it, Todd, ever. Because I know what it'll be. I'm not
Yeah.
in. Enel says, I heard Gaga is meant to represent audiences sensationalizing mental health with the first movie, which Phillips said he hated. So this seems like an attack on that. And that's probably likely. This one is probably likely because the way the movie flows.
Hmm.
It's an odd thing in it. I think you'll find there's a much deeper meaning to the movie. It's probably just not executed in a way that's appealing to audiences. And that may be, and if that's the case, then it did go over my head. But I also feel like, and this is just my opinion, if you want to deliver a message, it's hard to do so when you think you're smarter than the audience. And you portray that on screen as if you get it, you get it, but I'm smarter because I created it kind of mentality. So
Mm-hmm.
Phil says, to quote another Joker, I thought my jokes were bad. Yeah, I would put that on the DVD or the Blu-ray, whatever. Yes, that is a bingo. I would love to have the GIF of Christoph Waltz. Ooh, that's a bingo. But I don't know how to do GIFs on here.
Oh man, well, yeah, we should. Yeah, we need gifts. We got technical foul. We got to be
Which
able
is
to
always
get
good.
that's a bingo.
Technical foul is always good, but we don't need it as often.
Mm-hmm.
But it is good to have.
We can make it happen. I'll make it happen.
I'll do what I can.
I'll get it on. I'll get it on here somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Next time we're gonna have it.
Yeah, it's interesting about Joker 2 for me is like as it was coming out, I was excited for it, and then when those initial thoughts came out from so many people that I respect their takes, and it was like, oh boy, I don't want to see this. But then as it's going along, people are talking about maybe it just didn't work for some people because I haven't seen too much positive about it. It's taken a little longer for that to come onto my timeline. So that's kind of initially all the negative got me turned off a bit, but then slowly the positivity kind of moved its way in. So it'll be a digital watch for me, but it's interesting how it's come and gone from my excitement level based on who's talking about it and what they're saying. Just because like it has been the topic of conversation since whatever Thursday night.
And it will continue to be, I think.
Yeah.
The one review I cared about was Phil's, and he's not a fan of it. That was the review I really
don't you
about.
Just hate when somebody like this is like when we were talking about, I don't know what the last one you didn't like when you were excited for probably was Maxine, but it's just so disheartening. Like this, Phil was literally doing a daily countdown. Yeah. He did it for like 100 days or something. I don't know how long it was. Maybe it was more than 100 days. And I saw it and was like, oh man, that sucks. Like this just sucks.
It does. Yes. I feel terrible for him. But we still have Venom 3 this month, so maybe that'll lift his spirits.
Oh, there's still lots of time for something else.
I think. Phil, do you want to see Venom 3? Because it might be cool. I don't know. D Cinema score seems ridiculous. That's worse than Madam Web. Yes, but I saw kind of like an explanation for why it got the D, and I understand it. The way it was explained that I saw, I forgot who tweeted this. Madam Web got a C+ because people expected it to be crap.
Right.
Joker got a D because they did not expect it to be crap. That's why. And to me, that makes sense. Oh, there we go. He'll be checking out Venom 3. But yeah, that's the thing about the cinema score. That makes sense to me, though. People expected it to be better, and it just wasn't. Also, the trailers don't show how much music is actually in it, which is a problem.
There's a lot with movies lately, WB movies too. I didn't know Wonka was going to be a musical until I got there. What's the hold up here?
I think that maybe musicals don't sell as well anymore. Maybe that's what it is. So they're scared to show it. They figure, we'll just surprise them since they're there anyway.
Like, I'd rather don't make it a musical and then or don't make a musical and sell it as not a musical and then be upset or go crazy when you don't have the box office when people realize it's a musical. Like, just don't make a musical then. Like, either make it and stand behind it and accept it and embrace it, or don't.
I've heard people walk out of Joker 2 when the musical parts hit. I've seen that multiple times on my timeline. People just leave.
Yeah.
At least said he won't win the box office draft.
I'm sure he's heartbroken about that.
Haven't you watched the Willy Wonka movie before? They're all musicals. Are they? Yeah, I guess they are. They are all musicals.
If that's a serious question, I'll just say that the trailers did not show that it was a musical, so I didn't expect for it to be a musical. Pretty simple as that.
Yeah, I don't remember the trailer. I remember the one showing Timothée Chalamet singing, but that was it.
And I don't consider the original as a musical either for some reason. I don't know why.
I consider it a horror movie. Willy Wonka is unhinged.
Yeah.
I don't get the love for that movie. My daughter was in love with it for a while. We had it on repeat. So I've seen it so many times. I don't ever want to see it again. And every time we'd have to watch it, the scene where like they're in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And how is this marketed for children? The 70s were a wild time.
Indeed.
I think that movie's out in the 70s, right?
It's old. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's old as shit. But that's that. Moving on from Joker, I think. I rewatched Monster Squad as I do every October 1st at midnight. Always splendid. I also rewatched Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein almost back to back.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was good. Very good. I love Frankenstein. And I just love the way he speaks in Bride of Frankenstein. It is amazing. I rewatched those, and then the new stuff. Salem's Lot finally hit Max. This movie has been in like production hell, and it sat on a shelf for X amount of time. We didn't even know it was real until the trailer came out. I want to say it was
Mm-hmm.
last month or something. And I thought the trailer looked horrible, but I saw the positive reviews for the movie. I was like, oh, okay, well that's good. And then when I watched it, I really had fun with it. I think that it feels um, like an old '70s movie, which I believe is what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
It really has that old retro vibe, and I thought it was really fun. I like the vampire designs for the most part. It is different. Like I've never read the book, but I've seen the old version of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't exactly try to replicate that. It does do its own thing. Plus, I mean, we're quite a few years removed from there, so things have changed as far as
Mm-hmm.
technology goes. But there's still some good stuff in it. I like their take on things. You know, the famous "kid at the window, let me in" scene.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people are gonna hate it, some people are gonna love it. I thought it was cool for what it is.
Hmm.
I also believe David Arquette and Buffy does the best version of it, but that's just me.
So good.
It is so good. Let me in, Pike. Uh,
Oh
but
my!
the
That's it. I'm watching that this week. That's
I
the
am
end of
too. I'm
that.
looking forward to it.
Jesus.
Between that and Paul Rubens as I forgot what the vampire's
Oh,
name is,
oh, ah,
and it's one of the
oh,
first.
ah.
And it's a post-credit scene too. It's just wonderful
Oh my God.
watching
Oh,
that
thank
for
you for that.
sure.
Thank you for that, Chris. Thank you so much. That brought
Thank
joy to
Dave.
my day.
Salem's Lot. So, but yeah, Salem's Lot is really really. I enjoyed it. Salem's Lot was such a great vibe.
Hmm.
Yes, and there's one character in there. Um, he's like the main kid character. His name is Mark.
Hmm.
That kid has seen some shit. That's all I can say. You have to watch
All
it to
right.
understand. But
Okay.
he's the unsung hero of that movie, and I don't want to cross him in an alley. He's scarier
Hmm.
than Barlow, the main vampire.
That's a tall order.
Yes, but cool movie. I was happy with it. I think it was worth the wait for the most part. I also enjoyed the makeup effects on Barlow himself. I thought he looked cool. They did a little thing or two differently. So.
Nice. Yeah, I'll get to that one hopefully this week as well. Keep forgetting about it. You
You
reminded
might
me
like
about
it.
it. Yeah, I think I will. I like the trailer. I was surprised that you didn't like the trailer.
No, I didn't like it,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
I like the movie. Go figure. The movie is pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not that long. It's kind of got a brisk pace. The first 30 or 40 minutes are a little bit slower because not a
Mm-hmm.
lot is happening. It's just story. But once it
Mm-hmm.
gets going, it's just wacky fun. And it's very campy. But uh, am I watching Son of Frankenstein? I might get to it. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I was kind of thinking of watching Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein because Bella's in it, but we'll see.
Nice.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Um, Craig says, I already felt very old school too. Loved it. Ironically, that's next on my list because I watched Oddity too. So um, this one, I loved Oddity. I tweeted this, but in a year of great horror movies, Oddity has become one of my favorites because it is so odd. It's such a weird movie and it's so dark and it has this almost like Hammer quality to it, I think. And the majority of it takes place in this old house that looks like a castle, where you really only see the living room for the majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very entertaining. It's so creepy, and you've seen the poster with like that thing.
Yeah, what's the
Uh,
deal with this? What is it, paper mache or what the hell is this thing?
oh yeah, it does kind of like paper mache. No, it's a wooden doll made from a witch.
Oh, yeah, it's
It's
creepy.
actually a gift.
Hmm. Return that sucker.
I don't think you can. I think once it's
I
yours, it's
would
yours.
if that turned up
Um,
at my house.
I think once it's yours though.
Return to sender, my dude.
No, be blessed. Enjoy.
Be blessed.
Yes. You are now the proud owner of Woody, or whatever the hell you want to call him.
Yeah.
They don't give him a name. I'm gonna call him Woody.
Woody.
Yeah. He looked especially friendly in the movie.
Nice.
But yeah, Oddity is really fun. The only thing I would say is it's very predictable. And I've mentioned before, I'm not someone who can pick out plot ahead of time usually.
Right.
I'm often the last to know in most
Yeah.
cases, but this one you will figure out really quick. It doesn't hurt the movie because you still want to see the how or the why, I guess, of how this thing works. And it's very dark. It's a dark film.
Nice.
In the ending, not to spoil anything, but if they ever did a sequel, I am in. And I will make
it sets it up for one?
It doesn't, but if they did,
Oh, okay.
I would make sure and see it in theaters. I regret not seeing this one in theaters. So I really, really enjoyed Oddity.
Nice.
Aside from the horror, I did finish Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That was a great time. I really like that a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah. Now I think I'm on an anime kick. I think I like anime now.
Yeah, that's all of a sudden.
Yes, all of a sudden I have found anime. So
I have found anime.
I have discovered I like anime stuff.
Yeah.
Our friend Ian gave me some recommendations that I'm most likely going to check out. Plus
nice.
the Tomb Raider anime, which is what I'm really waiting for. I think is next week. It's on the 10th.
Sweet.
Yeah, so watch that too. I didn't watch Only Murders in the Building yet. I'll get to it. And Rings of Power was akin to a religious experience, I think.
Yeah.
It was like you tweeted it. The opening 10 minutes, I don't even know what to compare it to, but it was just amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Especially because it's something we've been kind of waiting for.
That's right.
And then to see it fully realized and the way it's handled, like, beautiful. Absolutely. Again, I know where the money goes.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I get it.
Yep. Yeah. I cannot wait for us to talk about the finale on Elves, Hobbits, and Potatoes, because it's like you, that first 10 minutes is it blew my expectations of what they were going to be doing.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we knew something was going to be happening, but what actually happened, it was just beyond my expectations. And I don't care much for my thoughts, but if I have to stop a TV show and get it out into the world about how much I liked something, like I paused the show so I could tweet something out just because of how amazing I felt after the scene had ended. Just incredible stuff. Can't wait to talk about it on Elves, Hobbits, and Potatoes.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember the line from Lucius Fox. I think it's in The Dark Knight. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded. I feel like that is the theme of the finale.
I think it was it Ian who somebody tweeted at me. I think it was Ian. Maybe if you wait long enough on this show, if you didn't like season 1, but if you kept going with it with season 2 and you kept watching, the payoff was just there. Like it was there if you kept with it.
This finale, in my opinion, is like watching Return of the King. And I don't even mean that as I didn't like the other two, because I didn't the other season. I love season 1, but season 2 is just, it's a cut above or something. I don't know. They created magic here. It is my precious. I love it.
Yeah.
And this finale is, not to spoil the episode that we're going to do, but the finale is stupendous. I love it.
Stupendous.
It's great. Stellar.
Totally agree.
So those are my watches. I don't think I watched anything else. If I did, I've already rambled enough. So.
Nothing wrong with rambling. Ramble away.
No. What did you watch?
I got to Hitman this week on Netflix with Glenn Powell. It was not what I expected. Mostly because maybe I didn't know what to expect. But Glenn Powell is, I don't know, a treasure. Like what's another different word for treasure?
A national treasure. Yes.
He's so much fun as these different characters. He's an incredibly good-looking guy, and then seeing him transform into these my favorite one's the one with the orange, whatever, like the bowl cut.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know what his accent is, French or
I forgot.
I don't really know, but yeah, the movie is funny. It's got a lot of nice moments in it, and then yeah, Glenn Powell is. I can't like I've liked him in like I know you didn't like the movie with what's her name, the
Anyone but
rom-com.
you.
Yeah, like I didn't mind that movie. I still really want to see Twisters. I had a great time with Hitman. I like Richard Linklater as well. I think this is a very different Richard Linklater movie. It's very against his kind of normal style, which I appreciate. But I'm a big fan of Linklater and anything that he does. So I had a great time with Hitman. I hope to see more. I like the comedy action mystery that Glenn Powell can do, and I think we were talking about this a while ago, trying to see him do different kinds of things. And we talked about this last week when we were talking about Chris Hemsworth, giving Chris Hemsworth more different kind of roles, giving him a serious role. I think Glenn Powell is due for a serious role, like a real dramatic type of role.
I think he's due to play Batman.
Yeah, and that would be fine with me too. Like the idea of the brooding Batman is something I dig, and I think he could pull that off for sure. I think he could pull off a lot of things. That's what Hitman tells me. He has a range that I think is underutilized, and I hope he doesn't get cast into that Chris Hemsworth type of deal where it only matters if he has a shirt off or not.
No, I think people see him as more. He's also he's going to be in that Running Man remake. I haven't seen the original. I don't even know what it is. I think it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I don't know.
Running Man.
Yeah, Running Man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But he's in that. But I don't. I'll see. I think that he's really talented. He's got a lot of charisma, so I like seeing him in anything. He was fun in Twisters. I think you'll like Twisters because you like the first one.
Yeah, I don't expect to not like Twisters. I don't know if that's a possibility.
No, probably not. There are worse things you could watch.
No,
and Hitman, I thought I really liked Hitman too. So.
Yeah, had a great time with it.
I love the Patrick Bateman disguise.
All of the disguises are a lot of fun, and seeing him putting them on is fun. So yeah, I really look forward to it. Or looking forward to more from Glenn Powell, knowing that he can do all these different kind of characters.
Ian says The Running Man is a classic, had it on VHS. Okay, so is that the movie that's I Am Legend, but it's not I Am Legend?
Running Man is the TV show about people trying to kill each other. It's like the Hunger Games but in the future kind of deal. Like they're in a game and they're all trying to kill each other, and it's a big TV.
I have no idea what Squid Game is either.
Yes, you don't know Squid Game? Where they play
I've seen the costumes, but I've never understood what it is because I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a TV show where they play kids games, but the result of these games is you die. Well, so the Running Game is a TV show about a big, like a game show, but they're doing crazy wild stunts that get you killed.
And it's an action movie, I assume.
Action movie, 100%. Yeah.
I'll wait for the Glenn Powell one.
Yeah, the movie. I think it's based off a book. I think it's actually based off a Stephen King book.
I've got to watch Squid Game. It's incredible. I can promise you that I will. I cannot promise you when I will, though.
Book. Yeah, Stephen King book. Yeah, it's actually it's a Stephen King book that he released under his pseudonym name back in the 80s. From what I understand, the book is very different from what the movie is.
Well, it seems like most of his adaptations become wildly different. Maybe partly because he wrote stuff while on LSD and whatnot, like the ending of It. So I think things get altered because they have to be. Anyway.
Yeah, so more Glenn Powell. I'm up for anything Glenn Powell does because I think he can do it, and it is a lot of different things. that's kind of it.
Something else in the Running Man.
Of course.
I hope that him and Glenn Powell shake hands in the new one.
That's right. And then I watched Bad Times at the El Royale, which is what I was going to watch last week after talking about Chris Hemsworth. And one of the things that I realized in watching this is that I knew nothing about what this movie was. I thought it was Chris Hemsworth all day, every day for in the entire 2 hours and 2.5 hours of the movie. And that's not what it is. It's got Jeff Bridges in it. It's got Dakota Johnson in it. It's got Cynthia Erivo in it. It's got John Hamm in it. And the movie I thought was fantastic. It's about a group of people who show up at a hotel for various different reasons. And the mystery kind of plays out a little bit like a Quentin Tarantino type of deal, where you see one person's role and then it goes back in time and shows another person's role. So it kind of steals from Tarantino a little bit, but visually it's great. It's very funny. The visuals are very, very good. I'm realizing that I'm a fan of Drew Goddard, who wrote and directed the movie, who also did the last what's that horror movie with Chris Hemsworth?
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. And then obviously a fan of his original stuff with the Daredevil series
for Netflix. Didn't he do Daredevil? Maybe I like Drew Goddard too then.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of the thing. So he's only done 2 movies, which is The Cabin in the Woods and Bad Times at the El Royale.
Okay.
Which is interesting. And I think he's in the writer's room for DCU now, if I remember that correctly as well. So yeah, I had a great time with Bad Times at El Royale. It's got some politics in it. It's got some horror stuff in it. It's got stuff about cults. It's got very good music. It's got drugs. It's got violence. It's kind of a movie that has everything, with a very small and limited cast, like 6 people, not too many background people or anything like that. So it goes to some funky places by the end. By the climax, the third act. It's a little bit long, just over 2.5 hours. But the characters really pull it through. Like seeing Jeff Bridges, who I didn't expect to be in the movie, really helped. It's kind of an interesting idea, not expecting somebody to be in the movie, and then they are a main character from start to basically finish. Exactly. So that was a kind of a cool thing. So I had a great time with Bad Times at El Royale. And seeing Chris Hemsworth again doing something not Chris Hemsworthy, not what I expect from his Thor stuff, or he is shirtless for a lot of the movie, but for different reasons. So yeah, a great time with Bad Times at the El Royale. I really think you'll like it whenever it is you get to it.
Maybe this week when I feel like taking a break from horror.
Yeah, maybe. And then just before we started recording, watched with my son and my wife was Inside Out 2.
Oh, that's fun.
Which it's great. It's pretty simple. It's incredible. I like the additions of the new emotions, some more than others. One of the things that I was expecting, or not, was the thing that I wasn't expecting, was I thought it was 2 new ones. I thought it was anxiety, and then I thought it was embarrassment. I didn't really know about the other ones, so I guess I didn't really pay too much attention to the new trailers or the trailers for it. So I liked those 2 basically. I don't know if I liked Envy too much, and I actually don't know what the other one was.
And
the boredom one, or
I didn't get that either.
The one they called Wee Wee, who played on their phone and controlled the board from their phone, and really didn't have much to do. But aside from that, I like the hockey aspect to it. I really like that. I liked the first one's story a little bit better, of joy and sadness doing their trek, rather than the whole group doing their trek. More or less trying to do sort of the same amount of thing, get something from one place and take it to the main station. It's kind of the same thing. I thought the first one. Yeah, I thought the first one was a little more emotional, maybe because I just like Bing Bong a little bit more. But still a very, very good movie. I like the progression of what's her name? Riley. I like the progression with her, and everything that's going on with her school and her friends, all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very, very good movie. Glad that I finally watched it, and I'm glad I got back to watch the first one last week too. I know you're a big fan of Inside Out 2 as well.
Both of them, yeah. I love both of them. The first one, I think I agree, is more emotional. Something about it just hits. Not because of Bing Bong for me though, but it just works for me. And then the second one, I think, has got more of a I think it's funnier.
Hmm.
So it's kind of whichever you're looking for. Do
Mm-hmm.
you want to cry or do you want to laugh? Kind of like a Daniel Warren Johnson book.
That's Pixar. Pixar is Daniel Warren Johnson animated movies.
Maybe they are.
Like
I
the
should
start of
stop
Up.
watching that.
That was written by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah, the start of Up still amazes me. I've never seen an animated funeral until that point, and not even like a 2D animate or something like you would expect. This is Pixar animated funeral. It's weird to see, but what a
Mm-hmm.
movie. To quote Al Pacino, what a picture.
What a pictures. Yeah, so those are the movies. One thing I was hoping for, Ian or anyone else, I need a new TV recommendation. Now that Rings of Power is over, Penguin is weekly, but I'm not sold on watching it, day of or day after anymore. After the second episode,
You didn't
Only
like it?
Murders in the Building. What's that?
You didn't like Penguin season episode 2?
The second episode felt like a pretty steep drop for me
Okay.
from that first one. So we'll see what happens in the next one. But I, like you said, you're going to watch it tonight. I don't feel the need to watch it right away. I'm going to just there was something else I wanted to watch, a newer, but I can't remember what it was now. And I think Only Murders in the Building is almost over. Like I think this last week was the 6th episode. And I think it's probably only 8 or 9, maybe 10. So
I think it's 10.
Yeah, so it would be coming to a close. Only Murders was very different this past week as well, which is one of the things I think we should be talking about when we talk about how this show keeps to being so fresh and how they keep doing it. They keep this, like, episodes like this is how they do that, by keeping it completely different from what we've seen before. So very different episode, but very good. As well, very original. So that's good. So yeah, I'm looking for something else to watch on for a TV, kind of a weekly or even a binge. In saying all that, I have a ton of movies to watch too, but sometimes I just like to watch the half-hour, 45-minute episode as well.
You should watch What We Do in the Shadows.
See, I've thought about that. What are we going on now? 6 seasons?
I don't even know. They all feel like one season. It bleeds together, but it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. The characters are great. I have nothing but good things to say about it.
I know you don't. It hurts me that I haven't, just for you, tried this show out yet.
At least watch the movie. The movie's even good.
Is that good enough, you think?
Oh, the movie's fantastic. Like, you watch the movie, you can understand, oh, this is why they wanted to continue it.
Okay.
And the movie has the characters a little bit, I don't want to say wackier, but they are something. It's really fun.
Isn't that the Johnny Depp one?
That's Dark Shadows. We don't talk about that.
Oh, Dark Shadows. Okay.
We don't talk about Dark Shadows. We talk about What We Do in the Shadows.
So the movie came before the TV show?
Yes, the movie came before.
Oh,
the movie was such like a well-liked thing that they decided to make a series of it.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. Is the TV show a beginning and an end? Like, you feel you don't need the TV show season afterwards?
Oh, no, the movie. So the movie has its own set of characters, and the TV show is a different set.
Oh, okay. I know nothing about it. The movie
is set in that area. I can never remember what it is. The Netherlands, maybe. I don't remember. I don't know.
Transylvania?
No, it's where Taika Waititi's from, I think.
I thought it was from New Zealand.
That's where it's at.
Okay. Yeah.
It's set there, and then the TV series is set in New York, like some suburb of New York. I would say it's Long Island, which I think is kind of funny. Or Rhode Island, one of the islands. I don't know.
It'd be funny if it was Rhode Island.
It's by New York. I know that.
Okay.
Cookie says my drag shows are back. They'll hold me for 2 months. I was actually scrolling AMC Plus to watch Oddity, and I saw they have something called Dragula. And at first, like, oh, that sounds fun. Then I realized it's the drag queen contest. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like that because I don't know what it is, but I'm probably going to try it because it sounds fun. And I know Cookie's a big fan of it.
Okay.
Ian says, I love Foundation on Apple TV, like Rings of Power. First season is slow build to something incredible. Second season is a masterpiece. Vox Machina is a animated fantasy show. Second season is on Prime. Really, really good. I believe that's also an anime, so we could both be into anime now. Or you like Terminator, so we are both into anime now.
We're there.
Dragula is amazing. I'll give it a shot. I think I'm gonna watch it. Do I'm guessing I don't need to watch anything prior, right? I could just start at what the new thing is. I think Shogun. So Shogun is on my list, but I know I won't get to it this month.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, you gotta set some time. You can't
Yeah.
watch an episode and then get busy and then not watch another one.
Right, and if there's no spooky murder or something, I'm not interested this month.
That's right.
If there's no kind of monster or possession or something,
Martin Short sliding down a banister, it's just not gonna happen.
That is something we have to make the exceptions for. Or Venom, you know. Okay, I recommend season 4. So then that's where I will start. I'm gonna become a Dracula fan too. It looks cool. I think it seems like a spooky thing too, which is neat.
Dracula.
Not to be confused with the Rob Zombie song.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that came up. If you type that on YouTube, that's the first hit. So
I would hope that's the theme song, though, or a version of it. Maybe not, though.
Theme song? No. Some kind of composed one.
Oh, okay. Well, still good. We're going to try it.
Okay, I think that's good. Chris, anything else you want to chat about before we get on out of here?
No, I don't even know what's coming this week, but I'm excited. So I know we got Absolute Batman. I'm gonna get my hands on. I'll read that. Terrifier 3 is this week. I'm excited for that.
Are you gonna get to that this week?
Yeah, I got my ticket for Thursday, but as soon as I got it, I realized I have something to do that night. So Friday, hopefully, we'll see.
Nice.
And that's that. Anything you're looking forward to this week?
There is a couple of comics that I want to get to. Batman #1, Batman Absolute Batman #1 I have read. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get a copy, or if I really want one either. But it's still possible. Minor Arcana #2 is out this week. Precious Metal #5 is out this week that I want to get to. There was something else. Maybe it's the week after. It's the new
the Twig trade.
Yeah, yeah. It's the new Batman and Robin book from Mark Waid and Chris Samney. Batman and Robin Year 1. It's the week after.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely want to get to that. I'm definitely going to buy that one for sure. Just because Chris Samney's art is spectacular. Really a big fan of their work. So, but that's in a couple weeks. Yeah. Stupendous. All right. Chris, where can people find you when you start slagging on Joker 2 later this week?
I will not, but you guys can find me on Twitter at thatchris70. I do a lot of different stuff on there, so you can find it all on there. And as always, I would love it if you would follow this show at G of the Geeks on Twitter. Emmet is better with the rest of the plugs, so he will take over.
You can follow me on Twitter at Emmet Davis 7. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your fine podcast. Just please type in Gathering of the Geeks and you'll find us right there. Make sure if you're watching right now on YouTube, hit that thumbs up and always a nice share and a like, subscribe, anything that you can do all across your platforms would be appreciated. Thank you to Phil, Ian, Chris. No, not Chris. You're right there. Cookie. And Eric. Chris, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, everyone else, for watching on this fine Sunday evening. And saying all that, for Chris and I'm Emmet, and we gather on Sundays.
I hope this works. End of session.